Yo, what's up? Here's a review for episode 2 of The Last of Us. This episode is called Infected, and before I say anything, this episode will have spoilers in it, so if you have not seen the episode, go watch it first. It is really good, and come back and watch the review. But to talk about this episode, man, you start off here with another cold open where you get to see a flashback in Indonesia this time, where these Indonesian military guys come and pick up this scientist lady from a diner and then take her to a lab where she's basically shown a bunch of stuff that leads her to understand that these people are here that are infected by a fungus. And the best part of this is that her realization of what's going on here, all the things that are happening as far as, you know, the fungus thing is real and people are really getting infected and stuff like that. I really enjoyed all of that beginning, especially her emotion towards the end of the episode, or the end of the cold open, where you start to see her freak out about it and she's shaking and stuff, and she's telling the other military dude that, yo, the only way that this can be handled is if you bomb the city. There's no cure for this, and the most you can hope is that the bombing stops it or slows it down. And I really enjoyed that part of the cold opening. The other thing is that you start to get more into the episode. You start to get back from last week where they find out that Ellie has the virus in her, and you know, she's infected, and they're trying to figure out, you know, why they're taking her on this mission and whether or not they want to go back or continue going. They decide to continue going, everything. But the part about this part of the episode that I really enjoyed was you really got to feel the emotion of them trying to figure out everything. This kind of differs from the video game to me, where, you know, the live action aspect of it gives you the emotion with the acting and all of that stuff. That was really good. I love Pedro Pascal at this opening part because you really get to see his face that he doesn't want to do this and that he's kind of afraid of her turning on him and he might be having to kill a little girl. So that was really interesting. We got the introduction to the clickers in this episode, which was really dope. I love the way they set them up, especially putting them inside of this kind of Civil War type museum. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. There was some shaky cam stuff that I didn't love there, especially with the action scene that you had there. That, you know, I don't love shaky cam, especially in these action scenes, but I still think they did it really well. They looked visually lovely, gruesome, and just altogether really nice. And I really liked how they've, you know, kept them really creepy, and they've changed some stuff with the affected people here that, you know, they're connected through a system of like these fungi tendrils and stuff like that, and if you touch on one, it'll basically call upon all the others, kind of similar to what happened in Stranger Things. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then towards the end of the episode, where you find out that Tess has now been infected as well, and she's slowly starting to change, and all the other zombies have been called up on to their location, so they have to figure out a way out of this. And she decides that since I'm infected, I'm lost, I'll stop them here and basically blow up the room with all the infected people in it. And this, another thing that changes from the video game, to where they're not being chased by military people, but instead the infected people. And Tess ends up having to blow herself up, and you get this other infected dude who sticks his tendrils down her throat and everything. That was really gruesome and dope looking and stuff. And she finally gets her lighter off and blows up the room. And just, I really enjoyed the emotion that was going on through these moments, and just the visuals and the facial aspects of it. All that was really good. It's kind of things that you don't get in a video game because you're dealing with, you know, video game animation, which is fairly limited at points. So I really enjoyed this episode. I like the changes they made here. I like the ideas that they were pushing out here, especially towards the beginning. And I just liked how everything was going on. Ellie's is a little bit still too annoying for me, and I did have some issues with her character is somewhat in this episode, but she's starting to grow on me more and more. So yeah, this was a 4 out of 5 episode for me. This was really still really good, and can't wait to see what they do with next week's episode. I'm out of here. Peace.